Hello, everybody, and welcome to Live at 5. It's Tuesday, February 6th. I'm Beth Stevens.
I'm Paul Wontorek.
And we're in the studio with producer Matt Roden and a fabulous guest.
That's me.
Yeah, Max von Essen's in here. Max von Essen of Broadway's Anastasia is here. We love him.
We love him. This is his third time on Live at 5.
Yeah. And former vlogger, or always vlogger.
He's wonderful.
We're waiting for him to turn another episode.
But first, let's go to today's top 5.
All right, so we'll start things off. We found out today that Falsettos, Lincoln Center's Falsettos, is going on a national tour.
That's right. Falsettos. We love falsettos. This is obviously William Finn, James Lapine. It's going on tour. Well, it's going to California. I don't know how far this tour is going to go. So far, we know it's going to play LA's Amundsen Theater and it's going to play San Francisco's Golden Gate Theater. No casting yet, so get your auditions ready.
I think a lot of people in California are going to like this show. All right, fun fact. This was our #1 show of 2016.
Thank you for...
Yeah, I looked up that list recently because I was trying to remember where American Psycho made it on the list. Because it did, by the way, top 5. But Falsettos was #1. So you guys, you can go see the #1 show of 2016.
If you live in California. And that will be during the 2018-2019 season. I don't have dates yet, but that's exciting.
Cool.
Speaking of states, I'm just trying random non sequiturs. The Helen Hayes Awards nominees were also announced today.
Okay, so the Helen Hayes Awards are the Washington, D.C. Theater Awards.
That's right.
And they honored a lot of our Broadway friends.
Such as?
So first of all, Mean Girls, which is, of
Girls.
course, in rehearsals for its Broadway debut. It played at the National Theater in D.C. It was nominated for Outstanding Visiting Production. I like that term, the visiting production. And Kate Rockwell and Gray Henson were both nominated for their performances. Robin DeJesus, who who's coming to The Boys in the Band, in just like a month or two, a couple months.
Yeah,
and I hear he's fantastic, by the way, in Boys in the Band. He did In the Heights. Of course, he was in The Heights on Broadway, Tony nominated. But he played Usnavi this time, and he got nominated for that. Dennis Jones, a Holiday Inn choreographer, was nominated for Signature's Crazy for You, which starred Danny Gardner, who you saw in Dames at Sea, also nominated. And Deborah Monk was nominated for a really interesting musical called Mrs. Miller Does Her Thing, which I remember watching some videos, and I want it to come to New York, so I'm hoping it does. Anyway, congratulations to all the nominees.
Say hello to Dave Thomas Brown. He's playing Elder Price in Book of Mormon. I just wanted to try something
That was really
interesting.
special.
Thanks.
Was that your
Thank
audition,
you.
Matt Roden?
That was my audition.
Okay.
Right, so Dave Thomas Brown, who was on Broadway before, is coming. He's taking over for Nick Rouleau, who did it for a long, long time.
I think he's the longest running.
I feel like he did it for at least 25 years. I could be wrong.
Nick
Could
Rouleau's
be
been there
off.
a long time, and he's fantastic.
So Dave Thomas Brown made his Broadway debut in American Psycho, which you looked up probably for that
Number
reason,
5,
or just
2016.
because you were having a moment that you didn't remember it. He was also in the national tour of Bridges of Madison County, and he was in Heathers. Didn't we love Heathers?
And The Legend of Georgia McBride,
That's
which was
right.
a drag show. We love that show. It was fun.
I like the way you said that. That was
You have to
enthusiastic.
emphasize it.
Lots of enthusiasm. We also found out today that the standby for Amy in The Orphans, the lead role of Amy, is actually played by a man, and so they're going to be changing the title. I guess it'll be not changing the title, but it's called Andy in The Orphans.
No,
right?
that is changing the title.
I guess
But
it is.
it's not being played by a man. It's just certain performances, right?
Jamie Brewer, who we all love in American Horror Story, a very talented actress. She has Down syndrome. She plays Amy in Amy and the Orphans, but her standby is Edward Barbanel, who is a male actor with Down syndrome, and so when he's on, it'll be Andy in the Orphans.
So he's not replacing her; it's just certain performances.
Right, he's a standby,
Yes.
and so I guess it's a non-gender specific.
What is it
role.
about, Paul? Do you know?
It's
what
about Amy or
It's about a
Andy
family.
and the Orphans. And it's off Broadway, and it previews began February 1st, and it opens March 1st. It's at the Laura Pels Theater.
Laura Pels.
And last and sadly, we found out yesterday that Tony winner John Mahoney passed away on February 4th.
So John Mahoney, everybody knows from Frasier, who played Martin Crane, the dad, and he was 77, I believe, and he started his acting career late in life. He was actually an editor of a medical journal, lived in Chicago. He's also a Brit. I don't know if you knew that. Surprise information. But he came and was in John Guare's The House of the Blue Leaves. Yes, Max von Essen. He was born in England. I'm just letting you know. He did House of Blue Leaves off Broadway, that's John Guare's play, and then it moved to Broadway, and he won a Tony Award. And then he did something else.
Well, I saw him on Broadway in Prelude to a Kiss,
Yes.
which was a great play. I loved it so much with
Yeah.
Mary Louise Parker. And he played the old man. You know the old man, and he did it on Broadway.
He kind of famously played old men, but he was a wonderful actor and a wonderful person, and also earned 2 Emmy and 2 Golden Globe Award nominations.
Yeah, beloved TV dad. Yesterday we had a beloved TV mom here, didn't we?
Yeah, we have a lot of beloved people. Well, all right.
I'm going to head out.
All right, goodbye to Paul. We're going to be right back with Max von Essen. Matt, tell us a little bit more about Max.
Okay, here we go. So, Max von Essen received Tony and Drama Desk nominations for An American in Paris, and he's performed on Broadway in Evita, Dance of the Vampires, Jesus Christ Superstar, and 2 different productions of Les Miserables. He's toured across the country and across the world. In Xanadu, Mary Sunshine in Chicago, he was Tony in West Side Story, and I love this story. He sang backups for the one and only Liza Minnelli. He's currently starring as Gleb in Broadway's Anastasia. Please give a warm welcome to Beth and our very special guest, Max von Essen.
Who gives the warm welcome?
Yes,
are they
people.
applauding
Are we all?
home?
Are we all? Thank you.
The 4
Thank
people
you,
in
ladies.
this room. Thank you
Yes,
so
yes,
much.
yes,
I just
yes.
wanted to hear some sort of warm welcome.
Yes, that was the warmest welcome we can give you. I'm sorry about
was great.
that. Well, welcome back.
Thanks.
You
Great to
this
be
is
here.
your 3rd time
I
on
didn't
Live
realize
at
that
5.
till you said that because each time it's a completely different set.
That's right.
So,
We
like,
used
I
to be in
feel like
front
I've
of a
been on 3
cardboard
different
box,
programs.
sort of. Yeah, it's different. It's fancier now.
It just gets. We all get fancier and fancier, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
And you always dress up for us, which I really appreciate. In case you're just listening, Max is wearing a
Paul
very
said
fashionable.
I'm giving you. What did he say? The very boys in the band.
Yeah,
I
you're wearing
said,
a black
well, you know,
turtleneck.
casting. I know that they say it's set, but
But you never know.
You never know.
You never know. So
Someone
how's it
will
going
get it.
over there at the Anastasia?
It's going great. I love it. I love it
You are the
so
happiest
much.
man on Broadway. You always
Well-
seem so thrilled.
Well, I am usually very thrilled because I mean this is what I dreamed about doing. When you're 8 or 10 or 12 on Long Island and you dream about doing it, even when it's hard, you get down. You have to remind yourself that, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. And actually, as I get older, I have more and more of those moments. Like I could be in the middle of a scene which isn't emotional, and I'll get emotional.
Just because you're on Broadway?
I have this out of body feeling that like, oh my God, they're watching me. I'm up here doing something that. There's a 12-year-old in the audience. There's me in the audience, and I get really like moved. Not every show, thank goodness, because it's a little. But it
could be
really still happens.
inappropriate.
It's funny as I get older. It happens even more and more because I just can't believe I get to do this.
You are a real theater kid, right?
Yeah.
You were
Well,
obsessed as a child with musical theater.
Yes, I was obsessed. I didn't know if you meant like, did I do theater? But I was like, I wasn't a child actor.
No,
you know,
no, no.
Where I was like doing all kinds of things.
Just in your room with cast albums.
In my room and in my mom's dresses and heels and
As you
all
do.
kinds of things
Normal.
and the cast albums and all kinds of things, and yeah, I loved it. And I lived on Long Island, so pretty early on I was able to start like taking the train into the city, and my parents would give me a few bucks and I'd just spend all day Saturday or see a show or hang out with friends, and I was just
What was the
obsessed.
first show you saw on Broadway?
Dreamgirls.
That's a great one.
Yeah. And
that
it
was a good one. I gasped.
It was, who was the first replacement for Jennifer Holliday? She was in The Life.
Come on,
Lilius
Paul.
White.
Lilius White.
Oh, thank God I knew it.
Oh God, I know.
It's like a
I'm
pop
not good at, like
quiz.
names on the tip of my tongue. That's who I saw, and I mean
wow.
the show just blew my mind, and I knew I wanted to do that, and people didn't quite understand because it's. What
It's
do you,
a
what do you
little
mean? It's not. You'll never
inappropriate.
do that. You know.
Maybe in a
I
miscast
just
or something.
right. I just meant I wanted to do that. I just wanted to
Beyond
be on
Broadway.
stage and sing. Yeah.
Let's talk about Anastasia because these fans are insane.
Yes.
In a good way.
In a,
they are
yes,
obsessed.
not like illegally insane.
No.
Like in
They're
a
not actually
great,
crazy.
amazing way. I'm
yeah.
actually really kind of shocked because I mean I think I've been in some terrific shows and some kind of iconic shows with a really serious following of people, but these fans are
They're serious.
and energetic, and the stage door is like a whole other act to the show, and it takes us time to get through, but they love it so much, and they give us so much positive energy that just feels it's probably the most exciting show I've ever done in that respect. I think
In the screaming fan respect.
Yeah, the fan base is legit.
All right, I want to talk to you about 2 really important things. And the first
Okay.
one is your cat.
I knew it. I was
I'm
about to tell
sorry.
you that fans are even giving like
okay, so
artwork
let's
of my
talk about
cat
your
and-
cat and just go to tell everyone how they
Pop-
can see you on social media so they can see this cat.
Oh, well, you can see me at Maxie's Pad, but Pocket,
Z
my
Pad,
cat,
Maxie's Z Pad.
But Pocket, my cat, also has an Instagram, Pocket the Sphinx.
Of course, every cat should have an Instagram, and not just cats on Broadway.
It was Daniel, my partner's idea, and I'm like, full support of it because
I'm
I
obsessed
love
with
it.
this cat because this is a hairless cat.
Yes,
I'm
she
allergic to
is
cats.
so
Would I be allergic to Pocket?
No, I'm not. I'm allergic to cats, and I'm not allergic to
Wow.
Pocket. It's amazing. And she actually does have like a fuzzy face and furry paws. She's not 100% hairless, which makes her
Thank you,
even
that's
more
good to know.
adorable. Like we should have named her Mittens because it looks like she's got these little like crocheted mittens.
Is she
on her
cold
paws.
all the time? I would think without the fur, you know.
Well, yes, they run at a higher temperature, and their metabolism is faster. They eat more throughout the day, and people think we're like just dressing her up to be cute, but no, they should be in little
I was
outfits.
wondering.
So we keep her in little outfits, and she's always like hanging around
Does
by
she have
like
her
the
own
radiator.
closet?
Her own closet?
Yeah, a wardrobe.
Oh yeah, well she's starting to, and like people are sending different outfits. I'm obsessed. She's so cute. I've never had a pet like this. I mean, quickly as a child, but we love her. I mean,
Okay, I
we
have one more
just love
question for you, and then we have to get to the Facebook Live
Yeah,
fans.
there's so many
There are
questions.
so many.
Oh.
So here's my question. You always have the best dressing room, so tell me about your dressing room
Oh,
at Anastasia.
I moved in. I was like, no disrespect to Ramin, but I was like, we have to change this over.
Right, so
It
you took over
was-
for Ramin
yeah, I took over
Karimloo,
for
and you have a
Ramin
different
and-
aesthetic, shall we say?
Yes, I guess. I know. It's going to sound terrible. No, I think, well, most people actually came into the show and just went into their dressing rooms like, okay, this is what it's like. Shelves were all over, and it was a basic white color. But I came in, I was like, oh, it felt a little small, so I asked we get rid of all the shelves and paint it like a deep gray, and then I ordered some furniture, and I like a lot of
You
vintage
moved
pieces.
in.
I moved in. Well, we're there so much.
Yeah.
You live, it's literally like having another home. And very often when you work in an office or something, you don't have that freedom to change it the way you want. And to have this little room, and you want to feel really comfortable. And for me, sometimes I'll do like a little bit of a theme for American in Paris, a little bit like a French kind of a
Parisian,
throwback
yeah.
feeling. This one, I just wanted to be like an extension of my home. So I just felt super comfortable
So you didn't go
immediately
Russian?
when I came in. I didn't go Russian, except for a vintage map of Russia that I put up, just so like I kind of look at it and like feel like I'm getting into the world. But I just made it super cozy. I love it.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
Matt, tell us some questions from Facebook Live.
Okay, let's get started. Preksha wants to know, if you weren't Gleb, which character would you want to be in Anastasia?
Oh my gosh, I would want to be Countess Lily, the Caroline O'Connor.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
we were
a
just
fun
talking about like gender neutral and things like, why not?
Yeah.
It just seems like a really fun role. If I could just think completely like, what if my dream? Yeah.
I'm here for that. Kaylee wants to know, what shows have been the most influential to your life, either as an actor or just in general?
Early, the first thing that comes to my mind, and I'm sure there are more, but the first thing that comes to my mind was seeing Tyne-Daly and Gypsy as a kid. It was the first production that I also knew some of the child actors in the show, so I hung out backstage. I got the first sense of like that Broadway community, and then I watched the show. I was in standing room, and one of the ushers was like, "Hey, come here." I was young, and she knew I knew some people in the cast, and there was an empty single seat in the second row orchestra.
Wow.
And the show, the music, Tyne-Daly was like so electrifying that there other things have made an impact in male performances, but this overall is like a theatrical experience at that age just mesmerized me, and I was just so blown away and inspired.
What a great show to be mesmerized
Oh
by.
my God.
Speaking of inspiration,
Yes.
Cassie wants to know, what is the best
Cassie.
advice you've ever been given?
Oh gosh, follow your bliss and work your ass off.
Those are good. That's a
You
good
know?
combination. Don't do
Yeah,
just one.
it
do
doesn't
both.
just happen. Like, this is what I dreamed of being a part of, but it actually took me a little bit more time. I thought things are supposed to come easy, like rely on your talent, but no, you have to work your butt off, particularly in this industry.
Yeah.
How?
Nathan Joel says, "Hi Max, I'm a huge fan and love your
Hey,
Instagram stories, lip syncing
thanks.
backstage.
You're famous for it.
How do you keep your performance fresh and consistent through every show?"
My lip sync performances? Like,
Very fresh, very consistent.
how do I keep my performances consistent? Well, every
fresh,
show
and fresh.
Every show is a little different. The audience reacts differently. You feel a little bit differently. An understudy might be on. So there are a lot of things that naturally propel it, like in a new, energetic way. But sometimes I'll challenge myself to come up with one new choice, whether it's an acting beat or vocally. I just want to try one different thing or one different sound on a note. And I've been doing this for like 10 years ago. I got a little bit of a rut in Les Mis, and so I just challenged myself on this. And I'm telling you, one different thing propels a chain of events in a show that you'd be so surprised. So
do your co-stars comment about that?
Sometimes, Christy will do that. One the other day, I tried some new things. She came up to me after. She's like, in the wings. She's like, "Did you get notes? Did they give you notes?" That was so excited. I was like, "No, I just feel like I just want to."
Christy Altamar is on top of it. She's just
she
on top of
literally
it.
instantly right off in the wings. She's like, "Did you get notes?" I was just, it was a matinee. I was a little tired. I was like, I need just a little something extra today, and that usually works for me. Plus, I love doing what I do, so it's not that hard.
Michelle wants to know, what superhero power would you like to have?
So many to choose from.
This is gonna sound kind of silly, but like, it's not so much like, oh, I'm invisible, or I want to be able to fly. It would be like sort of like healing the earth. Does that sound ridiculous?
No,
like
I'm
the
in
earth
for
is
that.
just like, it's such flux, and it's so dramatic what's happening from leadership to climate change. Like, if there was just a way to sort of like bridge that all together and like heal people's hatred and heal the earth.
That is a superpower.
I mean, that's
Maybe
a
you can
major
do it with your
superpower,
voice.
but like that's
Sing out.
yes. Maybe my lip syncs tonight will reach, will really inspire people.
We're getting a lot of questions about Murder on the Orient Express and how, if you're excited to go back to do that.
Well, I'm not going back to do it. They're actually doing it right now at Hartford, but because I got Anastasia, I had to pull away from that project, which was really sad because it's a shame we can't do it all because I love doing it. The cast is out of this world, and we had so much fun doing it. But I just wish it the best, and I hope it.
I love that you knocked on the table to wish it the best.
Yeah.
Max,
No, but you know what
we
I mean?
have to go, but before we do,
Yes.
you've got some concerts coming up, and I want people to be able to
I
see
do.
you.
Yeah, Anastasia has graciously given me a few days off for these concert dates I had booked before, and they're exciting because I've never done. Well, I've sort of did. This is my first official solo concert. I'm doing them in Florida, April 8th, 9th, and 10th. It's all on my website, maxvonessen.com, but it's in Fort Lauderdale, then 2 nights at Del Rey at the Crest Theater, but it's all on my website. And it's the first time I've really tackled a 90-minute concert of just myself with my music director, Billy Stritch. And it's a little bit of shows I've been in, some standards, a real golden era of Broadway. I feel like it's kind of got a romantic kind of sign, a throwback kind of feeling. And I'm terrified and really excited about it. So if you're in the Florida area,
Come
come
on
check
down.
it out.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you
by,
guys.
Max
Thanks for
von
having me. I love it
Essen.
here.
All right, Matt, take us out.
All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want more Max von Essen, and who doesn't, you can go watch his episode of Side by Side with Susan Blackwell, which is just so funny and hilarious and adorable. And you can watch Live at 5 every single weekday at 5 p.m. on Broadway.com's Facebook page. And if you're a fan of podcasts or want another way to consume this show, you can subscribe to the Live at 5 podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. Emily Skeggs is coming to the studio to hang out with us live. Thank you again, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.